So what is a 7 sharp 9 flat 13 chord, and what do you do with that? On its own, this chord does have a lot of merit, but it is not that great sounding. So take a listen to this, just the chord on its own with a backing track and me playing over it. In context, this chord can be very beautiful and emphasize the chord that comes after it. So take a listen to this now. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the alto dominant chord, at least one variation of it, and its use and how I kind of found it naturally. And then I'm going to give you some licks in melodic minor, and then we'll go from there. So in last week's video, we talked about how every guitar player finds the basic chord progression D-C-G at some point in a lot of oldies famous tunes. After that, a lot of guitar players begin to find minor chords and begin to look at bar chords and just different variations of those, and even different keys in minor. I don't think every guitar player learns minor keys first. Minor keys as a whole, I think, usually come later. So I think one of the first progressions we all begin to try to play on guitar is the one from Hotel California with B minor, that F sharp 7, going to the A, and then the E. Whenever this chord progression comes back around, you have the E minor, the F7, and then the B minor. And that F sharp 7 emphasizes that B minor. And so this is technically harmonic minor, and that's where this F sharp 7 comes from. If we look at the natural minor scale, the 5th degree, the F sharp, would actually be minor. But when we use harmonic minor, the 7th degree of the scale is raised, and that further emphasizes and resolves in a much more conclusive way to the B minor. I think probably the next thing that we experience as musicians is kind of this mixing, this brief tonicization of a minor key, but we're still in major. So today we're looking at C. So if we're in C, A minor is the relative minor. So in a lot of songs, what musicians will do, composers, they'll play the C, and then they'll have an E7, and then they'll go to that A minor. So it's like for a second that E7 and that A minor belong to the key of A minor, and that E7 again comes from harmonic minor, with the G sharp being raised, emphasizing and leading to the A minor. So then the next thing that happened in my mind was learning jazz. And so in jazz players took this just a little step further by adding a flat 9. Now the flat 9 would function very much the same way, but resolving downward. So now we have this G sharp resolving up, and we have this flat 9 resolving down to E. And so together, these further emphasize the A minor. Then diving deeper into jazz, you start hearing this term alto dominant. And that's what happened for me anyway. And so alto dominant technically refers to whenever the 9th is lowered or raised, or the 5th is lowered or raised. So this chord, E7, sharp 9, flat 13, I like to think of this chord as kind of a chromatic idea resolving everything into A minor. So this B flat will resolve to the A, and the flat 9 will resolve down into E. The sharp 9 could stay and just become part of the next chord. It could also go down into a 13 for the C, or 6. The 3rd of the chord will resolve upward into A minor, and then the root stays to be part of A minor. So you have all of this motion created from using this outside chord. So when we put it all together, we have C major 7, Then we have E7 sharp 9 flat 13. And then we have A minor 7. And then from there, what I did next was the F minor. And that chord progression laid out all together is like this. Another really interesting thing to me is we have 3 uses of harmonic minor now. So to cover this chord, that's what I'm doing. I'm using F harmonic minor. So it's easy to think about whenever you see an E altered or any altered, just go half a step up and think harmonic minor. Now, you do want to be aware of what notes are what whenever you're playing it. You don't just want to like play the scale straight out and sound scalar, but you want to sound like you know which notes to emphasize. Now, if you've been tuning in, you have 3 uses for F melodic minor now. You have F minor, and then you have the B7 sharp 11, and then you have the E altered. And all of these have different uses. So for the most part so far, we've been using melodic minor to resolve to something major. Whenever we were thinking the F minor, we resolved to C major. Whenever we thought B flat 7 sharp 11, we resolved to F major. And it doesn't have to be that way, but the interesting thing is in this use for altered, we're resolving to major. And that doesn't always have to be the case either, but it's just interesting to think about it that way. Real quick, if you want to play F melodic minor, check out the video I posted 2 weeks ago on melodic minor basics. So now let's talk about some licks. I'm going to give you 2 licks that you can use for this, and these licks will also work over the B7 sharp 11 and over the F minor. You might have to think about them and adjust them just a little bit. Today we're going to be using them to cover the E7 sharp 9 flat 13. So this first lick is like this. You're going to start with a pull off from the 10th fret to the 9th fret, and then you're going to come down in augmented arpeggio, very similar to what we did last week. And then you're going to do 10 to 11, and then you're going to come back up that arpeggio. Then you're going to slide up to 13. Then you're going to come down 12, 10, slide back up to 13, and then play the 12. And that'll resolve you onto the 7th degree of A minor. Now this next lick goes down a series of suspended arpeggios, and these are ones that I've been doing in major, but now we're applying them to melodic minor. And I haven't made a video about that, but we're going to do them today in melodic minor. So we're going to start on the 8th fret on the first string, and we're going to go 8, 6, 8, 7. Then we're going to go 10, 8, 9, 9. Then we're going to go 12, 10, 11, 10. And then we're just going to go down the scale and resolve on the C note right there. And so that C note is the 3rd of A minor. So if we play this chord and then we use that, we can be back there, or we can use it in F minor. Just all depends on how you use it, what you're trying to land on, and yeah. So thanks for checking out this YouTube video today, guys. Again, subscribe for more content. I do guitar covers, reviews, those kind of things, lessons, scales, and music theory, just kind of stuff. So just all guitar related content. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.